Bible Stories of Boys and Girls. Rebecca at the Well. Rebecca was a girl who lived long ago in a sun-baked city on the plains. Each evening she went out with her pitcher on her shoulder to draw fresh water from the well. One evening she met a stranger from afar sitting wearily at the well. He had made his camels kneel beside him, for they were tired and thirsty too. "Let me please drink a little water from your pitcher," the stranger said to her. "Drink, sir," said Rebecca, lowering her pitcher. Then she drew more water for the camels to drink. "Is there room in your father's house for me to spend the night?" the stranger asked Rebecca. It was the custom in those times to take travelers in. Rebecca led him to her father's house, and they made him welcome there. Then the man told them that the Lord had sent him to find a wife for a fine young man. Now he knew that Rebecca was the girl, for she had been so kind to him. He gave her jewels of gold and silver, for Rebecca had been chosen by the Lord. Joseph and his dreams. Joseph was the favorite son of his father. He had a coat of many colors, finer by far than any of his brothers had. His brothers did not like that. When they all went out to feed their father's flocks, Joseph would go home and tell tales about the brothers, and they did not like that, you may be sure. But Joseph dreamed proud dreams in which he ruled over his brothers, and he told them all his dreams. This made his brothers angrier than ever, and they plotted together against him. At last they decided to sell him as a slave, and many long years did proud young Joseph work and wait before he saw his brothers and father again. By then he had lost his foolish pride. He forgave them gladly and welcomed them. For do you know, his dream had come true, and he was a ruler in the land of Egypt, far from his boyhood home. Miriam, the good sister. Bad times had come to the children of Israel. The hard-hearted ruler of the land of Egypt, the Pharaoh he was called, wanted all boy babies killed. Now a couple of the house of Levi had a son, and he was a fine, sturdy boy. His mother hid him for 3 months, and when she could not hide him any longer, she took a covered basket of bulrushes and made it watertight with pitch and laid the baby in it. Then she put the little boat among the reeds by the riverbank, and the baby's sister Miriam stood at a distance to watch over him. The daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river and saw the basket among the reeds. When she opened it and saw the baby, she took pity on him and decided to save him. "But someone must care for him," the princess said. Then Miriam stepped bravely forward from her hiding place. "Shall I bring a Hebrew woman to nurse the child for you?" she asked. "Go," said the Pharaoh's daughter. So Miriam ran and brought her own mother. The happy mother had her child back, and he grew up safe and sound at home. When he was older, this boy Moses became the greatest leader his people knew. Samuel, the Lord's child. Once a woman named Hannah took her son Samuel to the house of the Lord. Now before he was born, Hannah had promised her son to the Lord. And so Hannah left her son to serve the Lord at the temple. Each year she came with her husband to offer a sacrifice and to see her son. But Samuel lived in the temple and was taught by Eli the priest. One night when Samuel had lain down to sleep, the Lord called, "Samuel." "Here I am," said Samuel, thinking Eli had called, and he ran to Eli's side. But Eli said, "I did not call. Lie down again and sleep." 3 times the Lord called Samuel, and each time Samuel said, "Here I am," and ran to Eli's side. At last Eli understood that it was the Lord who had called, and he said, "Go lie down, and if he calls again, say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening.'" So the boy went and lay down in his place, and the Lord came and stood there and spoke to him, telling him all his plans for Samuel, who was to be a prophet of the Lord. David, the shepherd king. David, the youngest son of Jesse of Bethlehem, was out in the hills one day tending his father's sheep. It was a lonely life being a shepherd boy, but David did not mind. He had his harp and he played sweet music and made up many songs. There were dangers too, wild animals lurking, but David was brave and strong. Once a lion attacked the sheep, and once a bear came and stole a lamb away, but David killed them both, the lion and the bear, and he kept his sheep all safe. Now one of his brothers came over the hill to say he was wanted at home. David went along with no thought of what was waiting for him. It was Samuel, prophet of the Lord, who was there at his father's house. I have chosen one of Jesse's sons to be king, the Lord had told Samuel. So Samuel came to Jesse's house, and Jesse brought out all his 7 tall sons. When Samuel saw Eliab the first, he said, "Surely this is the Lord's chosen one," for he was handsome and tall. But the Lord said to Samuel, "I have not chosen him. Do not look at his face or the height of him. The Lord does not see as man sees. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him stand before Samuel. But Samuel said, "The Lord has not chosen this one either." Then Jesse made Shammah step forward, and each of the 7, but Samuel said no to each. "The Lord has not chosen these," he said. "Are these all the sons you have?" "There is still the youngest, David," Jesse said. "He is keeping the sheep." "Fetch him here," said Samuel. And when the young boy David appeared, the Lord said to Samuel, "Arise, anoint him, for this is he who shall be king." Then Samuel took the horn of oil and poured it upon David before his brothers, and the Spirit of the Lord was with David from then on, because he was pure of heart.